there, very, very open to a possible lower high because of everything we've just walked through on an equivalent basis to the ES, right? If we get down here, I would be open-minded to a possible higher low, but I would want to see strength out of the S&Ps. I would want to see the S&Ps also finding a higher low, well above key structure. All right. So that is that. That is what we've got out of the NQ futures. With 9:05 on the clock, we've got to keep this thing on the road. Let's go on over to the QQQ Cash ETF. I'll give you the equivalent numbers, and we'll keep this show on the road. So, as you can see, right, this is your opportunity for the lower high. The lower high reattempt at 17,835 that we've been discussing is right here at 430.50 out of your QQQ. So if the counter trend continues, if we are outside of the previous day's range, if we are, gap fill reversal, if we're a higher low over 427.50, this becomes your target. When we get here, 430.50 as described on the NQ, looking for possible short opportunities back down for a lower high on the higher time frames. The lower high here. If we're falling into the previous day's range, again, there's probably a short that sets up in here, looking for the opportunity of a higher low, though, over this level. Right? Previous support turned into support. Can it act as support again at 423.50? 423.50 higher low. That starts to neutralize us a bit. Something that does this. And now all of a sudden, here to here, is the daily trend reversing? Maybe. There's still a lot of danger underneath this 433.75. So that's my take out of the QQQ today. Again, your key levels, just to summarize them once again, breakouts or just any higher lows over 427.25, trades into 430.50. Downside support is sort of in play as long as we're over this 423.50. Looking for higher lows off of that, right? Higher lows off of this. All right. Mission accomplished. Russell is up next. And again, we've already done some of the groundwork here on the higher time frames. We know that there's still trouble underneath 2050. We know that this, as an inverted head and shoulders, has actually broken out yesterday. We are clearly over the neckline. I think it sets up some easily identifiable trades today. Again, remember, whenever I say something's easy in the market, easy to identify, execution is always, always, always the hard part. It's like 10% identification, 90% execution, right? There's your 90-10. 9/10 of the law, right? Possession is 9/10 of the law. What else is going on here? This, right? So in terms of that easy to identify setup, if we fade, if we move through some of this thin structure on a retracement, we're looking for a higher low to be set over what? This is the 1980 level, 1990 level. Excuse me, 1990, right? 1990 zone right here. If we can hold up over the 90s, then hey, we'll fire up some grunge on the playlist today. We'll listen to some, I don't know, Audio Slave style stuff. We'll see if we can get some Pearl Jam rocking. If we can hold up over the 90s, great. We'll look for that higher low to be offered over the neckline of the inverted head and shoulders, and we'll keep moving in the upward direction. If that takes place, ultimately, an equal high breakout here should bring you up into the weekly inflection point at 2050. So your main watches out of the Russell today are simply going to be, can we find support over the 1990s? If so, great. We want to continue to watch for the counter trend moving in the upward direction into 2050. If you cannot get the higher low there and you actually drift back down underneath, that's a massive failure, and I would not have as nearly as much of a bullish tone over in the S&P 500. If the Russell futures are underneath 1990, kiss it goodbye. Kiss it goodbye, right? So that is what we've got out of the rut. I don't really think it's worth. I mean, we can go to the 15-minute chart, but as we can see here, we're not opening out of range. There is no gap. We're opening in range in value, so P for patience becomes a virtue. The overnight low is basically the value area low. This is single prints. This is a thin structure retracement. Very, very easy stuff to watch today. If you're inside the value area, two-sided trade resumes, and you're really just watching out for market balance. If you drift underneath the overnight low, if you get something that does this, thin structure retracement, look for that interaction off of the 90s. Right, look for that interaction off of the 90s. That is what we've got out of the RTY futures. If you're consolidating in here and get a break in the upward direction, obviously that's a tailwind for your S&Ps, and we're looking for, if we just quickly go back on over to the ES, right, if you get that break out of the Russell, you're looking for that full rotation into 51.54. 51.54 on the upswing out of the ES. All right, so that's the piece of the puzzle for today's session that I think is worth focusing on. How does the IWM small cap sort of sector or index, I should say, react to the tech names gapping up? But how do we continuously react here to some of the data points? Does this look constructive? Are we going to get a strong recapture of the weekly level or not? So you can see on the cash market, there's a little bit of a divergence here where the cash market has approached for a lower high. If there's ever a time to say, okay, it's time to sort of think about this logically, this is a massive inflection point. Whoa, what's going on with this zoom? Play nicely, Thinkorswim, please. Goodness. If we can stick here for the lower high, if we can continuously reject this level, the weekly line in the sand, 199, 200, treat it as a little bit of a zone. Let's not split hairs here. $1 on the weekly chart's not going to make or break anyone. If we're rejecting this, I would tend to keep in mind that small caps are still signaling, okay, not really healthy, not really constructive. So your breakdown out of the IWM, as we know, so you still get the same kind of inverted head and shoulders sort of idea going on here. 196.75 is your retest level underneath. We're sort of actually breaking it already in the cash market here. The overnight low is ever so slightly underneath your consolidation here at 197.90, 85, give or take. So if we can accelerate underneath the overnight low, I would be thinking about that thin structure retracement. Your neckline on the inverted head and shoulders is a little bit more obscure out of the cash market compared to what we can cleanly see here in the Russell futures, right? Oops, this is the ES. Let's go Russell. Everybody, geez, what's going on with this zoom this morning? The zoom is just off the wall. That's crazy. Sorry for the difficulties there, but there we are. This neckline becomes much more apparent in the cash market compared to what we can see in the I'm all over the place. Now this is throwing me off. See, this is not good. This is not good. When the zoom throws me off and I'm speaking now in the wrong terms, this is the futures market. Damn it, get it together. All right, the Russell futures, the neckline's very clear. Whereas in the IWM cash market, there we go, it's not necessarily as clear. I still think it's around this 196.75 zone, and if we can get this higher low, then great, it's constructive, but you're really just neutral through here considering the weekly implications off of 199. So anyhow, that is a absolutely botched way of looking at the IWM. I think that the data points, and sort of what we're trying to portray is still accurate, but my goodness, stumbled through that one completely. Let's get on over to Apple. Let's take a look here at what's going on in Apple. What's going on with the Granny Smith here? I think that there's a clear, you can see the clear breakout point. You can see this. It's very clear at 167. So I'd be open-minded to this today. If it wants to play nicely and say like, oh, tech's catching a bid today, if Apple's going to play nicely with all its other friends in the sandbox, we're looking for that higher low over 167. If we can spot that, the retracement is to here, and we've been talking about the lower high at 169 for quite some time, keeping us underneath this as overhead supply, keeping all of this bearish pressure in force for the market. So sure, set a daily lower high here, and then we'll continue to watch for a move in the downward direction. I think it's becoming abundantly clear, the leadership rotation. Apple is no longer like your, quote, flight to safety style stock. You can see that it's not gapping up this morning. It's not playing, along the lines of what's going on with Microsoft. It's nowhere near its all-time highs. I think I even just took the label off of the chart, but if we go to a daily chart here, right, it's nowhere near 200, the all-time high. It's pulled back substantially from that level here. In my view, we're really just looking for the next lower high on the daily chart to set up an equal low breakdown, which takes us underneath the weekly double top neckline. 1, 2, here's your neckline, right? Daily lower high that sets up somewhere in here. 169 would be ideal, but some sort of lower high, and then we're still getting downward pressure out of Apple. So I think that leadership rotation is certainly worth paying attention to. And this morning, yes, although there could be a long opportunity over 167, do not overstay your welcome. This is one of the weaker names out of the tech sector currently. Microsoft is up next. We've got Mr. E joining as a portfolio manager. Appreciate you coming out to the show. Welcome to the crew, and enjoy that green name and cash bag that will turn gold over time. What do we see out of Microsoft, right? So talking about this gap up, we've got gap rules in force. We've clearly got this nice little bull flag from yesterday's afternoon consolidation, opening drive, did nothing into the afternoon. So if all of these longs late to the party are like, hey, let's take some profits on the open, wouldn't be unreasonable to see a move into the previous high of day. 408 is your number. 408 is your number. Toots and Maytals, what is their number? Someone tell me in the chat. Someone tell me in the chat. Someone figure it out. What is their number? You guys should know. You guys should know. The higher low happening here over 408 is definitely an attractive sort of setup in here. Gap fill reversal, fairly standard stuff. If we can support off of it, looking for the counter trend to continue in the upward direction. Chris nailed it. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. ES is actually right around that sort of zone. Maybe we should have made that connection earlier on in the stream. So anyhow, that's your Microsoft, right? Higher low over 408, gap fill reversal. That is, is it 55 gap fill reversal. If it's a gap and go in the upward direction, notice that we're opening over 409.50. If we can stay over 409.50, the next pit stop is basically at 414. 414. All right. That is Microsoft Google. What's going on with the Goog? Let's take a quick peek over here. Opportunity for higher low. Let's not forget, folks, this is all-time highs right here. Let me make sure we're right there. We're right there at all-time highs. Google, incredible. This is the Gemini, like, oh my goodness, this model sucks. This is the recovery story. The redemption arc is real out of Google. It's right there. So overall, seeing this consolidation, I think you've got to participate more so in higher low longs over 157. This was our breakout level yesterday. It was our resolution level yesterday. Think of this as a double bottom, higher lows over the neckline, rock and roll at 157.
Good morning. All right. Little tiny small guy. It was a little bit bigger when I was writing this morning. Um, and again, yeah, anything under a 10-point gap, the likelihood of a gap fill is high. And it's really about how we treat value, or how I should say, how ES treats value. And, so scenario wise, you're most likely gonna stick with a higher low at the very higher low, a break of previous high, which continues the one time framing up on the daily. So the short term time frame trend continues. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry. Um, and we're kind of in the middle of the battle between time frames. And hold on a second. I feel a sneeze coming on, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to save you from it happening. I'll try to make it silent. Hold on. Yeah, man, sneeze. um, and so it really comes down to how we treat value. On yesterday's session, I did replay it. That high was just gross. Um, I did get one trade-off. At lunchtime was just the generic 5 minute BGL kind of thing. Only took it for a few points, just say I traded yesterday. But for the most part, I didn't do anything, which was kind of good because I'm pretty sure I would have got stomped in this. It was pretty wicked. You had to be real patient yesterday to trade that. The volatility was really good, and there wasn't really, once that initial move was done, even though it does, it did form that P shape, it was pretty wicked intraday, the swings, and I'm pretty sure I would have got stomped. But if you were patient yesterday, there were some good trades. Everything was being respected pretty well. Um, Now, talking about the time frames, on the 4 hour, we're at a great place to put a lower high in. This area. It is the singles from last week that really broke us down. And in the bigger picture, any lower high underneath 5,200 would keep the 4 hour in a downtrend. The 1 hour is in an uptrend. Pretty evident. That we had this rally off the lows on Monday, and we're pushing higher in an uptrend. The anything over um, 5065, 5070 would produce a higher low on this, and again, kind of this 2830 area, which came in play last week. If we look at profiles from last week, there you can see this is Tuesday. This was Monday's liquidation event. And Tuesday's high. Here's the overnight high. Here's Wednesday's high. We're kind of in this area where we found some better sellers, that kept us in this range. So I don't know if you get it ahead of Meta and Microsoft and Google. If this is going to continue higher, the first key area for the buyers is going to be a retake of the overnight highs, see some consolidation over that 5130 area, so you get a push above. You know, you could dip back down, but you know, you start to see that consolidation build over 5130, and then you got a shot for 5150 on an extension there. On the downside, you know, if we do close this gap, again, you know, we're just kind of looking for value to at least overlap and start targeting things like the overnight low, previous VPOC, and value low here at 94. So we'll see a little bit more patient trade from me today, especially since I am, it just kind of hit me yesterday that I'm tired. And the best thing for me to do, even if I'm going to be sitting at the desk when I know I'm feeling tired, is to be a little bit more patient in my trading. And there's not, the gap wasn't that big, like I was saying, and so the gap fill is, it's more to me when the gap is less than 10 points. What do we do? Because I'm always looking for that gap fill, and but it's more important to me what we do once we fill the gap. And given how poor the high was here, um, you know, as we're coming down, and it can get all the way down into previous VPOC, previous overnight low. I'm sorry. If we do take the overnight low, if we do get to VPOC, and then we kind of bounce off of that, you know, it's really just playing yesterday at that point. Very similar inside value, develop an overlapping day ahead of big earnings coming up after the bell with Meta today, Microsoft and Google tomorrow, PCE Friday, and then maybe the market's going to decide we're going to reject all of this early buying and we can target previous week low. And but I will say, and I'm going to let the entire A period go for myself. The I don't know if you follow me on Twitter or actually pay attention to me on Twitter, but you know, if we look at how things developed off that July high, strong week down. You know, you can kind of see the curl. Now our high for the all-time high is very weak, so I expect it at some point it's going to get corrected. 6 months from now, next week, I don't know, but I do expect at some point we're going to revisit 53.22. But for now, we're in this downtrend. So we had 1, 2, 3 weeks of downtrend into, you know, an area where you would think there was support. Same here. 1, 2, 3 weeks down. We're an inside week so far on this week. Same here. Still have 3 days to go in the week, so we'll see how this weekly develops. But we had 2 weeks of solid up move off of this low. Eventually took 2 weeks, but we eventually broke this low, which would get you up over 52. 3 weeks of consolidation before the really painful move down. And that's why I was saying, you know, on the weekly, we're in a downtrend off the all-time high. We don't have the idea yet, are we going to set a lower high? If we do set a lower high, then I think you got some pain to go down. If this is just a generic pullback, then you can kind of use your price retracement, expansions, projections. If this is just a pullback, you know, even 50% of this move is 5,600. So not saying it's going to happen. It might take all year, but if this is nothing but a pullback in a very strong longer time frame trend, it'll certainly piss off a lot of perma bears, but it's certainly possible. We don't know. Nobody knows. Because all we've got right now is our initial pullback. So we'll see. NQ did open on a true gap. We filled our gap. We did not open on a gap in RTY. It is over 2,000. It came back down. Test that 2,000. Found those buyers again. This is all sort of bullish still, you know. And you already got your overnight high on NQ. We're dancing in the middle of the overnight. RTY's pushing here. All over the open, I believe. Yeah, everything but Dow is over the open. We're kind of dancing the open. Ten points of range. Higher high. So we're continuing one time framing up on the daily. Bullish. Milo. Milo sees a dog. Let's see if he gets to howling. He's been in hell time. Hold on a second. Let's see if he stops here. There he is. Okay. He's my youngest daughter's dog, and she's away getting her master's in Rhode Island. And so we been opening the door to her bedroom, which faces the front, so you can look out the window. And he's comfortable in there. He does sleep with her when she's home, and but it faces the front, so if somebody's walking their dog, he's not a very social animal to other dogs. He is with people, but he doesn't care about other dogs. All right, let's see if we get a little peek. What is that? 21.22. He's just going to be a chopping mess here. Big 10 minutes in, 12 points of range. You see, I know we talk about the BGL on our 5 minute chart, um, but it does work on ultras. I don't know why. I don't care. I just know. So if we're looking at the 60-minute chart, which is this second one in from the top left, you see that 5110 on an hourly. We're holding that support. And that's what I was kind of saying, that, we're kind of in an hourly uptrend. That doesn't really get concerning to me until we start seeing that 21 get breached, and then we can start looking for higher. You still can get higher high in the 1 hour, but if we look at it from, and this is going to be a little bit lower because it's based on 1 minute bars, whereas this one is, you won't get a close of your 21 EMA on the hourly until this hour closes. This one takes it every minute. So right now it's at 5108. And so if you're looking at things, you got your 60-minute, your 30-minute, your 5 minute, and your 1 minute, and you're looking for that alignment. What is the alignment telling you? So right now, the 30-minute BGL would be over the 60-minute BGL, and the 5 minute is about to cross above the 30-minute. So that'll get everything back in alignment to the upside if that occurs. And those are things that, if you're more of a patient trader, you can wait for those things to happen. If they all get in alignment, from the 60-minute down, 35-1. If the alignment is, 1 minute over the 5 minute, over the 30-minute, over the 60-minute, you shouldn't be looking for shorts if you're a patient trader. You should be looking for pullbacks to get long. You can use the 5 minute or the 1 minute as kind of your trigger. The 1 minute, again, trade your time frame, but if you're using the 1 minute, you're looking more for 3 to 4 point moves in the ES. And if you're using the 5 minute, you can extend that just a little bit longer, but you also have to extend your risk. And so know your time frame, what you're trading, what you're looking for as far as a take profit, and what you're willing to risk on the trade. And so if you're taking a trade like off the 1 minute BGL and looking for 10 points, it could happen, but more times than not, you're going to be disappointed. So just know your time frame. And, if we're just watching, the 1 hour, once we took it, you had tests down here on the 22nd, and it held. So, once this move goes, if you're trading off 1 hour BGL, you're going, God, I missed this whole damn move. You get that test back in here at 50.40 to get long, you're probably still long. You're holding the support. You're feeling really good off this 50.40. You're holding multiple days now, and this 1 hour is still holding, and you're feeling good, and you're looking at, okay, where can I put in a higher high and keep this still going? Well, I would say that, anything over this 50.90, I could still be long if I was using the 1 minute or 60-minute, the 1 hour to get, if I got long off that touch. So that trader is, they don't care. They don't care about this movement, and they're watching 50.90, that kind of area. And so just know that participant who's running the market right now. And I would say the short time frame trader for now is running the market and they're looking for higher prices. So we are coming into an area where we have that question, are these sellers still here? And if they are still here, you're going to see that exhaustion from the short time frame trader. They're going to start taking profits. You're going to start hitting those levels where they're going to be getting their stops hit, and you're bringing in the, if it's going to happen again, you're bringing in that short or the longer time frame trader who right now you got to consider is a seller for now. And again, anything under really 5150 or any lower high between 5150 and 5200, I would consider that the longer term seller is still around, and we're just kind of trying to find them. We're going to push up until we find them. If things start changing, if we're going to swap the auction, I guess not the longer, it's really the intermediate if you're using the 4 hour, but if you're going to swap that around to where that 4 hour stays positive, then we're looking for some sort of lower high. We're getting this consolidation over the 38.2% retracement of this longer down trend move. And really for sellers, for this to stay uber bearish, I would have liked to have seen consolidation underneath 5100, 38.2% retracement, and then I would say, oh, this just bear flag kind of look to it, consolidation on a bigger picture, we're going lower. Now that we're over that 38.2% retracement and we're finding acceptance over it, then now I'm looking for that 50%. And so that's 50, 50, 51, 54, 53. You can kind of look where we caught that swing low and came back. That would be my first opportunity to look to bring the bigger picture seller in. If they're not there, again, all the way up to 52, until we get excited, if you start seeing this over this 5190, yeah, that's what I'm looking for, full retracement. And so it takes time. You got to remember, that we're trading, or I do trade 5 minute and 1 minute wiggles, and this is a 4 hour chart. So it takes a lot of 5 minute and 1 minute wiggles before you start to see that structure develop on the 4 hours. So. All right, our VPOC for now is developing over the overnight VPOC, obviously over previous VPOC. Value is developing higher. So, in a context of today so far, I want to look for pullbacks to get long. And I'm shooting for that overnight high. Kept forming here. Oh, come on, guys. And here we go for the little freaking dance in the first hour of trade. That's why I'm being patient today. I don't want to get handled inside this bullshit. So that's why I'm just kind of sitting around, hanging out, being cool. See, I get previous high test here. Maybe down to the overnight open bullshit. Just chop it up, guys. Eight would be a good test if we can get down there. Just fighting the damn previous high. Still have value that's higher. Come back down, test overnight low. Go fucking test something, guys. And get hung up. No strong seller, no strong buyer. Fucking bullshit. Come on, guys. Do something good, man. Come on, carve your range first hour, and then we can trade. Be nice to come back and really, really test down here at 5100. I don't know if I'm going to get it. I'll even take 5108. Get down to previous close for a test or something like this. This is not some looking to trade here. And you got B period about to open up in about a minute and a half. You'll probably see some buying come in at the start of B period. So why the fuck not? You stay in this chop. Testing the 5-minute BGL from the underside. Just do something. Come on, man. You got a nice little range developing here. NQ's got a little bit of a weakness in it. I think that's what's dragging us down. But they still have the gap open, and so it's obviously bullish. They've already got their overnight high. They just ran into that seller up there. So no harm, no foul right now. Consolidating over the high. That's good. Buyers. If sellers can't push in, I'd love to get a test of this 51 or 5108 before we launch here, but kind of watch A's low here at 10. There's nothing on the book, or at least showing on the book right now. You're double digits for a good point each direction. So Bushi. Stronger. Let's just see if this bid keeps coming up. It's right at previous high. You can see if sellers can start working their way down, down to this 10. Come on, man. Let's go back in range. Lows here is at 10, so come on, man. Squash them. Squash some of this, man. You gotta come back and really back test this stuff. I want to see if yesterday's buyers are gonna, I mean, they are keeping previous high right now, but I really want to get a test of these buyers from yesterday. Kind of, if I was swing trading or something, I definitely wouldn't be getting long up here. I'd be looking for a test of at least 5100 before I retake a long from up here. Now, if I'm long, like I was saying this morning, if I'm long from the start of that 60-minute upturn, then I'm fine, but I'm not initiating longs here. So much rather get it. We are finding from pre-market, right before the open, came down into this 10. It is finding support here on that initial push down. Come back into half back. Not interested right now in trading this chop. There's a little 3.2 point range. And sellers, if he ain't gonna take 1275 back, then just get off the bid or get off the offer, man. You're gonna get slammed. Come on, guys. 5108. Still waiting for this little range to break. Breaking it to the downside, I'll let it go. Again, I think you're going to find good support here at 58, and that's what I'm looking for is kind of a really quick wick down there to grab a hold of the long. But here, just underneath the opening 30-second range, if buyers eventually take that back, then you're probably coming back up to this 22, and then we'll do that dance down there as well. But right now, just kind of looking at it this morning off the high, it's kind of a bearish flag setting up right now. So I would like to see it break lower and then see a wick on the 1 minute to grab a hold of it. If they break it from here, then I'm just gonna just kind of let it go. Buyers can get back over 51.20, then I'll start looking for longs. We are getting higher, kind of a sequence of higher lows off of the 1 minute. Higher, just ridiculous. Right into mid. Oh, we found sellers. I'm just not. And if you want to play these 1 minute, just kind of quick trades, that's fine. I never find that I'm good at them, so I'm just going to kind of wait for what has been the ES for months now, and that's a choppy IB, and then I just kind of wait to see somebody take a hold of something. And you could, and you're seeing it here, it looks like, we're keeping, you could get long here. And again, I'm just doing it with the 2 micros here, but, you're looking for get down here. Again, it's a little bit more, you got to give it a lot more room if you're trying to take these breakouts that never seem to work. It could take, I don't want to. I only got 2 contracts going. So, I'm looking still for a better test, on the short side of this overnight high. We're still just kind of chopping around in this overnight range, and nobody's really taking a shot right now. Got a nice little carb range out now, so see if we can get back up to test into 22 again. That would be, actually should be a little bit lower. That would be the first take profit. I'm trying to hold a runner is what I'm getting at, instead of these choptastic. This would be 3 points on this. So if I can get that take profit, then okay, I got that. So I'll set a stop on this at 15.25, and that'd just be a break-even trade, inside this chop, and that's fine, inside the chop. I'm trying to front run the break of the overnight high. Does it work out? I don't know. 25 would be my next kind of target area on that. That's A's high, 24.50 or something like that. Let's see if we can get up there on this one, and then I can make a decision off that. So the way this has been working lately is, for whatever reason, we tend to put in a 4 high back off. So I know this. and I know to expect it. So does it give me an opportunity to add on to this trade? Yeah, it does. You know, if we do put in a poor high on A, and I'll probably be looking for a pullback again to add on to this trade. But if I get stopped out at 25, and so be it, and I'm just kind of flat. That's fine. Really about following NQ, I guess, today. And here we go, back into this bullshit. So you're still finding that initial resistance up here. Yeah, it might be a kind of carved out range for the morning. So we can play that, but nobody's really taking a hold of anything. And it is bullish over the previous high, not finding an aggressive seller, rejecting all of this right now. It is kind of passive up here on the trade. You can kind of look at Delta since the move higher off of this previous high. Delta's gone down, you know, and so this is more of a passive type of seller up here, which is going to be potentially your longer term seller. They're not going to be aggressive because they're selling big quantity, right? And if they're selling, and they're aggressive, they're going to move the market, and they don't want to do that. They want to get filled. So it's more of a passive type of seller there that we're seeing from there, and that kind of fits the narrative that we're running into a longer time frame seller. So whether you can see this seller here, 430. Yeah, let's see if I can't scratch that real quick. And we went short. How did I go short there? Oh, did I get both of them? No. Well, I'll take it, but okay, I'm screwed up here. Oh, okay. There. I had two contracts selected and I was playing ones. So it kept reversing me. Again, I don't want to be short here, you know, or look for a short here because I know there's this bullshit, you know, so just kind of let this IB play out. B period is totally contained. First 15 minutes trading B. Traded back and forth through BGL, the VWAP. You know, I'm probably going to get these first set of buyers hit. Sorry. If you got a buyer here at 10, showing size, let me see if that's what I was looking for this morning. Kind of a test of that. Back in range. Back out of range. You can find our fucking buyer. But see here, you know, and it just hasn't played out for me, sadly. So we had that initial push down. We found some buyers in there. Push back up. We still have that passive seller sitting there. That just kind of tells me, you know, just buyers just let this freaking thing test lower, you know, and if they do that, you get out of this fucking chop, and it's a frustrating trade. So let's see, I give it way too much room, but or I don't give it enough room to take in. That kind of kills the breakout trade. You know, it's just kind of like here. That's 1275. You know, that was, and you see it, like I was saying, I'm still working on getting this damn epic pen to work. You know, come down into this freaking 60-minute, guys. Let There's your poor low. You know, so you should be looking at this. This is, you know, at some point, it's a short, you know, and you got the overnight low, 5106. You have previous VPOC, 5102. It opens up the probability that we don't have the low in today. But here we are, man. So this is kind of one of those times that I haven't done anything in my personal account that, you know, I'd be looking to short this 15. It's the BGL, it's the open from the overnight, it's 30-second low. And, you know, and if I'm kind of stuck in a trade here, I'm not wrong in this trade. This is, you know, to me, it's a good, and I've been screwed by this. This is a good chance for me to add on to this short, bring my average up a little bit, and look for that overnight low. And it just takes so freaking long to develop. Now, having said that, and I should open in my 11, just kind of look for that break of A low at 10 and get even 2 ticks of excess on this low. I'll be fine with that. Just the way this market has been trading. And hold this runner or try to. I'm going to let this go just a bit. You know, you're starting to see us trading below previous low. We have a poor low. We have the overnight low. They're at 650. Those are all potential targets down there underneath this previous high. And just let it go, guys. Just let a freaking low get excess. Even 2 ticks, even 2 would be fine for me. Running real light volume today. So can't do it, man. I mean, I just frustrates. It just frustrates and frustrates me. But it is what it is. Let's go just a little bit. Go ahead and add on to it just to see. Take 2 points on this first one just to get the low corrected. That's all I'm looking for. Just get this freaking low corrected, guys. You've had 2 attempts higher. You got a lower high. Just let it go, guys. Let it go, man. It's okay. It's okay, I promise. It's okay to go to bed, toddler. You can wake up in the morning, be refreshed. We're gonna still have this load and get this guy out of here. Come on, sellers. Get this guy out, man. Oh my goodness. Again, you're just, this is so, so ugly. And, you're just really playing these damn 1 point trades, man. Or you're going to be in a trade for 10, 15 minutes without any progress. And just let this fucking go, man. Come on. Stop it. Yes, fucking shit. Goddamn fucking short time frame traders. We're just not. Just not doing it, man. And so again, you're gonna sit here and just chop in this shit, and eventually you get frustrated enough that you're gonna miss the trade. So haven't done anything. I'm not gonna play in my personal account in this crap. Not the first hour of trade. Might not be until after Europe goes to sleep that I trade in that account, my personal account. It's just not worth it, man. It's not worth the fucking frustration of this market. It just pisses me off to no end. Just let shit happen, guys. It's okay. And doing the same damn thing. You get this long liquidation here. And you can use this. The whole concepts of profiling. And here we go again. I mean, give me a fucking break, guys. Should you short here? I don't know anymore. Until we get out of this IB crap, and it sucks because it sets up for a much, much later trade. And for me, that means that I'm probably getting one trade in my personal account each day. And I want to get back to 3, 4 trades every day, man. Way too much fucking chop. Just let the market market put excess in, guys. Just let the market put fucking excess in. It's O fucking K. I'm just gonna let this run for a bit. It's only 2 contracts. I am in the morning chop and see if we get back my morning chop and then wait for that break that eventually comes. And if you are bullish, it's a great place to buy and just kind of wait out the chop. And, you're still looking for that break of the IB high at 24. I mean, it's an excellent 10-point trade in there. For me, look at this shit, guys. I mean, this is effing bullshit, guys. Come on. Should I add on to this short? I hate this low. Now, having said that, again, targeting that low, inside this chop is going to get you in trouble if you're using micros or something like that. You're over leveraged, because if you think about yesterday's high, especially with 3 touches on it, what's the chances of that holding during the day? Not pretty high. Well, it did. And if you're taking longs, at 51.10 or something, looking for that break and then that short cover rally, you never got it. And I hate, it's the IB stat for lows formed in the IB is about as good as the break of the IB, right? It's probably higher. It's probably 99% days historically will not put in a poor high or poor low in the IB, the first hour of trade. You will not see. So we haven't broken out of Asia range yet. And again, if you're looking at the 1 minute, we do have a series of lower highs. We do have a series of lower lows. We have a poor low. We do have other targets down below it. It just takes nothing. Chop-tastic. Meta was up big this morning. Let's see if it's still holding. Meta has got earnings today. No, I mean, it's back down 0.88%. Let me see what that chart looks like. Meta, the Zuck. Yeah, they sold it off that open. It's coming into an area of support. Kind of this 96 area, 95. When was that? Yeah, that was yesterday. So right at the close. Tesla giving its money back? No, it's, I mean, it's kind of flat from the overnight action. I mean, it's up big, 20 bucks, but, compared to where the after earnings trade happens right at the high. So screw you guys. Let's see if they're going to change this, the tone, the 1 minute, and get a lower high in here over previous high. Bulls can start taking control back. GR over previous high. This trade is not looking like it's going to work out. I wish they would have not done it off a poor low, but I'm gonna stop paying attention to that and just kind of watch the 1 minute. Put in a lower high. Get this corrected, guys. Come on. Come down into 5108, and then if you want to buy from there, I'm good with that. Get holding the previous low, very short time frame trade. So, you know, the primary trader, us, is controlling the market. Our volume is way off. So these visual references will play today if you're just looking for little chop trades in this. And of course, holding previous high, you're got to stay kind of bullish on it. I again just don't like for me to have that confidence that we're going to take the overnight high. So, if you can, if for whatever reason sellers can get that poor low corrected, I think, you know, it's probably a good shot at the 5108 is, you know, so you got the close from yesterday at like 5107.05. You got a little bit of a low volume node. You've got M periods high. Last hour of trade is right in that 5108, and you got the overnight and all that. Last hour of trade is 5100 on the downside. So let's just see. Got excess at the highs, no excess at the lows. But here we are, man. I don't like you, ES. 14 whole points of range today. No volume, so if I get the opportunity to scratch this, I will. Still, other than being a little bit offsides, it's not a great reason for me to go stupid wrong on this trade. Although I'm not seeing any really aggressive buyers stepping in down here. So just get the low set, guys. Just get the low set, and then you can buy the hell out of it. Put decent little excess in there, and we'll play a 20-point range. If you don't get this effing low, sellers. Don't like you. All right, So got as horrible as a low today as we had for the high yesterday, and it's all around the same place. So this is your the zone. God, this is so frustrating. I just get the would that be 90, 50? Because I'm not 100% confident on you're going to see a liquidation. You do have targets then, you know, 06, 50, overnight low. Um, but you do have a nice little volume wedge from overnight as well, you know, into that tail about 50, 108, 75. So these references going to start. All I want is that damn, you can do 2 tick spiders. They give it 2 damn ticks. I'm gonna take that off because, you know, like I said, it's a good possibility that we can drive this thing down. It would be a 6-point trade. So there we go. Now I'll just set a stop. Again. You know, if it's 2 points, it's 2 points. It's pretty tight. I mean, I could. Let me see. Oop, yeah, I got it. So, um, the that's your good excess. You know, now you did not get the overnight low. Is NQ still? NQ looks like it is over its high, but this is starting to B shape. We're starting to B shape. RQY is more neutral. So again, if we look at, it's really cool to think of. Oops, sorry. Stepping away from our noise of the 1 minute. If we look at the way this profile is developed, we know just based on last week that we had these sellers, right? So this was Monday's liquidation. If you break those singles out, split profile here, you know, that is definitely a V-shaped profile. A little bit balanced lower before we don't. And as we're coming up into this area, let me reset. This was, you know, more of a kind of trend day look, and I don't think we ever got, oh, we did get sort of what before the break. Yeah, you know, very, very trend day. Put in lower high or higher, you put in your low, higher low, higher high, and then higher low, and then we came into the P shape, right? And had a nice kind of poor high developed yesterday, showing exhaustion from buyers, and we put in a P shape, and P shape is short covering. We know that from last week's trade that we have overhead supply here. And what are we doing? We're liquidating off of that, potentially putting in a P shape, a B shape off of this. So P shape, short cover, B shape, long liquidation. This is your short time frame trade. You're still running into longer time frame sellers in this area, and it's very, very possible that this bottom area of last week's trade. So if you take last week's trade, Started high on Monday, liquidated down, and this is where our balance was. 5,100 was previous VPOT for the weekly. And now the question is, are we going to find those buyers to put in that higher low on the 60-minute? If this is going to be our lower high on the bigger time frame, it's a perfect spot for it. So, and that's what you're seeing now. It's just kind of last couple of days of trade, taking some profit, maybe getting stops hit. Should be able to get this overnight low, and then we kind of start playing yesterday. Starting to curl over on the hourly. Okay. Next target down is this previous VPOT. Would we come in 375? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Get some hourly support coming in here as well from yesterday. Still above yesterday's high on Milo. Yesterday's high on NQ. Might get loud here for a bit. Hold on a second. may have to go silent here for a bit. Mowers are here, so that means the dogs are not going to be happy, and we're going to hear the mowers. So you'll hear what my mornings are with the mowers. This house that we leased down here for a couple of years. Nice house. Perfect size for just me and my wife. Decent location. But it's definitely a little bit better than uh, one of those newer builds that they just kind of threw out. And um, the windows are double paned, but the glass cannot be thick. And my wife will tell you that when I'm getting slammed during the trading session in my personal account, that if she's outside or if she's coming back from somewhere or something, and she's out in the driveway, just say, Eric, I hear you out there, so our neighbors can hear you. So I'm just like, it's what it is. I can't change who I am. So and again, this can get all the way down to 94 on the smooth. I'm just looking for us to set a range for it, and coming back like I was saying yesterday, I was just kind of worn out. So personal account, I haven't done anything, and I'm okay without doing anything today. Um, Playing a balanced day, if this is what we're gonna do, and so far that kind of looks like we'll see if we can get some better long liquidation out of this, but develop singles that stick. We do have our break at the IB. We're just kind of holding here. So what I was getting at is we have our previous VPOC test. Value low, we're playing value from yesterday, and this is going to be a balanced day. Um, just balanced days for me. I gotta wait a long time for information as far as that goes, and so like I was saying, it just becomes more of a maybe a couple trades once we get kind of a range set, and hopefully the volatility is going to hold. I don't see I see a lot of sides coming in. On the upside, you're starting to see triple digits coming down. That's good. Uh, Start getting into your more triple digits down here at 5,100. Got some size there at 5,100, 411. Our value low down here is about 94 from yesterday. And if you can find that lower high underneath 5,100, yeah, or actually 5,102 previous VPOC, then that sets up for a value traversal from today, and our value high for the day is at the high of the day. Our value low comes in at about 94. So we did get sellers did get the value. I can get rid of this. These gray lines that stick out are back from yesterday. And we did get overlapping to lower values. So did finally get previous VPOC, which is what, 70, 75% back in range, historically. Did find that initial buyer. It's nice that previous VPOC is at that century figure as well. Um, So now, do singles hold 5110? You could see the bottom today, develop just underneath 5100. Volume is not indicating that we're just going, right now it's not 80%. We do have a 5-year note auction at noon, but we're trading 80 percentile, over the last 10 days. My guess is if you look at NYSE volume, we're running lighter than yesterday. NYSE. I do a little Python script to scrape this. Yeah, we're running right now. So we started the morning with a little bit slightly higher than yesterday volume, but here in the B period, we went down -7%, and my guess, just the way this thing is kind of trading, that we're not going to pick up that much volume in C period, this cash market. We know that let's see, tick has been negative all day. Started about flat, actually started lower. Couple tails on the 5-minute tick, positive, but has spent most of the time in negative tick territory. Breadth, volume-wise on NYSE is -1.8 to 1, NASDAQ 1.1, 1.2. Positive NYSE advanced decline is 30%, so 70% down day, but no volume. So let's see what these monkeys have underneath 5100. Yeah. Hold this overnight low. Forget that downside pressure. Man, there. Anyway, that was what I was saying. We like the house, but it's definitely not sturdy construction. Not that it's fallen over or anything, but the double pane windows were probably the cheapest the builder could find. So there's no real sound suppression out of it. The house we were coming from, the one that held for 20 years, yeah, you couldn't hear anything from outside. It is what it is. Not my house. So. And the landlords are good. It's not a corporation. It's actually a family that we've come to know. Great people. He got transferred to San Antonio. They weren't 100% sure they were going to stay in San Antonio, so they wanted to keep this house. But they were showing me pictures of their house in San Antonio, and I was like, well, if y'all decide to come back, because I would love the outskirts of San Antonio and where they're at. It's kind of right at the edge of the hill country in Texas, which is really, really beautiful. I just told them, I said, well, if you want to keep that house, and we'll just swap houses. I'm okay with that. So we'll see. So this is suggesting balance, on the day. very, very tempo's really off. Kind of holding those visuals. Be nice to see some kind of reaction to the 5 minute or 5 minute, the 5 year auction at noon. Kind of get this range carved out. Just kind of continued weakness here. You do got those lower highs all morning, really. So if we just kind of look at it from this morning, here was the opening range. Did our little push above to put in the high of the day, and we've just been lower lows the whole time. The top of this sequence for the lower lows is the overnight high. So it's kind of looking to see if we can find some buyers down here. And 5100 would be a good place to find them. Oh my goodness. Feels good to the short side. Short. Nah, I'm kidding. Same period slow yesterday. We were trading it. Yeah, they're at imperious low. VWAP from yesterday was 96. Let's see if we can't get a little bit of excursion below 5100 and see if we can find better buyers there. Oh my goodness, dogs. They get very upset when they're in our backyard. That's their domain. Don't get them on that. My wife has this part-time job to keep busy. She sets appointments for a pretty decent dentist organization. They have, I don't know, probably 30, 40 offices spread across the South. And so the way this job came was a friend of hers, her husband is the CTO of this dentistry. And she told him, I want you to create me a job that I do part-time. I can't be on the phone, and I can't have set hours. You could say, you have to do this 100 times today, but as long as you get it done between 8 and 5, I don't care. If you get it done at 1 or 2 or whatever, 8 o'clock, whatever. So she sets appointments for this dentistry, and it's all through texting software. And it's not like spam or anything. It's recalls. So someone hadn't been in for a cleaning for 6 months, they'll text them and say, "Hey, you're due for a cleaning," or whatever. And she does get a small hourly, but everything is set by her. Her money comes in by setting appointments. She gets so much money per appointment. If it's set for the next few months, it's one amount. If it's set for the next 2 weeks, it's a bigger amount, just the kind of thing. So, and she loves it because number one, she doesn't have to be on the phone. And number two, it doesn't interfere with her day. As long as she gets so many recalls done every day, they don't care. And so she loves it. But it's been fun because she hadn't worked for 30 years. It's been fun to listen to her downstairs because I'm not the world's best person as far as using cuss words and stuff goes. And she's very, anytime I would lay an F bomb or something like that, she would cringe and, ooh, no, but now that she's working again, I can hear it down there. The F bombs flying, and it's kind of fun. All right, getting some consolidation here. Do you have singles? And we'll see what D period's going to do here. But the trade is very, very light. We keep losing volume as the day goes. Um, so it doesn't lend. It could look like we're starting a downtrend. We do have a double distribution with the singles up here at 5110. Kind of like yesterday, if you think yesterday's trade, the buyers were really running into a wall there at 5112. The singles probably got hit some stops underneath 5110, and we're finding balance in yesterday's VPOC. Haven't even made a trip down through 5100 yet. I'm kind of waiting for it. If I'm going to dip by this, it's going to hopefully be under 5100. And I would love to get these singles filled if this is going to be our journey down for a trip up. I wouldn't get, unless I see volume really, really come in underneath 5190, I'll change my tone. But for sure, you're seeing these levels as we're coming down. You're seeing that support come in. There was a bigger seller in here. You wouldn't be pausing, at these levels. So just now, gonna wait until we see where that buyer's gonna get put in, see if we get a failed breakdown to trade. And the way I do those, you could do them on a 1 minute, you can do them on a 4 tick, whatever it is. We're looking for example, here we have our low in at 99 or so for now. Next 1 minute forms puts in just a barely break of that low. There you go. Bring it in, man. Get emotional. 96 is next level down on this. 9 to 4. Let's go to value. When we start liquidating, is everybody having fun? You did fill gap on NQ. Pour low and RTY coming down into value for us. Lower edge of value. And again, right now, I'm thinking we're going to play value today. Volume didn't pick up on this move down. Put a nice tail underneath 5100, bring in some short covering, and just kind of start playing yesterday. Still lower lows on the 1 minute, so not necessarily looking to jump in on a long, but you know, we came down into what RTH VWAP was yesterday. This is possibly what you're looking for here. Good location to put things in. Still not seeing volume pick up here. Trying to see your volume build out here at 98. Nice wicks on the 1 minute, so still got sellers in here. Flagging at the lows of that last 1 minute. That was a good lower low break. Coming into value low. Go, man. Fill those singles would be awesome. Time is 10 minutes in, so I'm gonna give this another few minutes to play out to the downside. And there's our value low. We still are overlapping to higher value, and you see we haven't moved V button, and there's no volume today. We're 3 wide, so it's potentially you gotta get those singles. You're putting in a new, really nice set of singles. And these longs to liquidate and coming into top of singles. See if we're gonna support 92 would be a perfect place to take a shot long. I'm not let me see at least the previous minute bar. Take a shot, and it would be my personal account would be a small shot. These apex counts, I don't know yet. So traverse value again. kind of look for a balanced day. Come on down. Still got lower highs forming here. See if we put in lower higher or failed breakdown here. In kind of an area that I want to buy. What's this? No volume. Still 15 minutes to go in D period. Your system sellers. Uh, Yesterday, you were all about buying this 92.25. This next kind of reference down. Again, you know, you can close these singles. It'll look really awesome to the downside and finally gonna find those values. Volume's not really picking up as we go lower. Do a feeler here. It's against the low. Sorry. So stop. We have 3 points. If not, then I'll wait again, but still, it's kind of in an area that I would expect to see buyers. Not really seeing them yet, but we are about halfway through the D period. Well, we are through it. 10 minutes to go in Europe, and let's see if we can't catch a little counter trend rally. Europe, or if they're just going to go ahead and liquidate into their close, and then we'll see what E period does. Been nice to hold a runner on that effing short that produced that portal. Singles close would close about 5,100. May got to go lower. Find better buyers. Get some of this froth from the overnight. This is where I would think you'd find buyers if sellers do close these singles and we stay under 90. Then I can start looking short, but 31 points of range today already on 82 percentile volume. It's not indicative of bigger liquidation. We'll see. Did have somebody point out this morning that reversal and stronger liquidation is possible. I'd put that at very low odds, but it's the market, man. And we're coming off a pretty intense 2 days of, I know it wasn't all short covering, but I think the bulk of the reason you're up here is short covering, and then you had new longs chasing, thinking they were going to miss out on a move. But for the most part, the move was brought to you by short covering, and now that source of buying is out. But first things first, can buyers or sellers reject this, create some new overhead in the market. Let's see. Not seeing value move down. So. You're going to take some time for this 5-minute auction to start to balance out. No new lows. 8 minutes to go on head into those singles. Still selling. Delta still traveling down and not seeing any aggressive buyer in here yet. Slow meandering down. Oh, come on, buyer. You just ran out of buyer. Come on. And try it one more time if I can get a little bit of a pullback here. It's kind of an aggressive buy there. And try again. It's against this low. Can't get back my meager points. Get back in value. Get back in value. I'm going to go at least at 5,100. Still trending down on the 1 minute, but so I'm kind of trying to catch a bottom. Might not be in. We may have to go to 88 before this is all over. Some size up there at 98. It wouldn't be a bad place. I just keep taking little hits here. I don't think you're going to get liquidation. We'll see what E period does. We'll probably have some singles here at 5,100. this low is going to hold. And yeah, we had a little bit of aggression from buyers. They're like, man, just take 30 minutes to put a fucking low in, man. Just stop. The buyers gave up. So now you got overhead. But again, I just don't. It's not really bringing in volume. Kind of meandering down. Let's see, 1600. You got about 40 points to go for 17.6. They keep stepping in. Buyers, come on, man. Give me something. For a bigger trade to the upside. These 1 minute bars keep, you're seeing that aggression from the buyer, but it's just not. You're down below 2 standard deviations VWAP off the full section. It's not bringing in volume. 1 hour's definitely turned. Do got a potential lower high in at 51.24. This is going to hold, but again, you still have the ability to put in a lower high or higher low, I'm sorry, on the 1 minute. And until the 1 hour really gets below 50.70, do you start thinking you're getting a reversal on the end? So we'll see. On if tempo was high, if we had volume coming in, if tempo was high, this is the kind of trend that's forming is this is 2nd standard deviation VWAP, and it's been trending 2nd to 3rd on the downside, on the VWAP. There's just not that volume, that you want to see. So let's see if I can follow low here and get a nice little 20, 30 point move out of this thing back up to 50.10. It would take a while for this to form if this is going to be the low, but I just want to see. Say I caught the low today. The target on this is going to be initially previous VPOG, right? We can hold 94. I can move this to break even. Sorry. Because that would get us back at a low, previous low. But for now, I'll keep it at the low. Let's see if we can't find some buyers in this 94 area. If it does pull back here, give us a lower high, might be able to add on, depending on what it looks like if it does come back down. Because right now, really technically what you're looking for on the 1 minute is this is your push off the lowest low. You're looking for this to have a weak pullback, maybe into that 94 area, put in a higher low, and then break this 98. And then you've changed the tone on the 1 minute. So we'll see. 1 hour's fine for now. And again, this is kind of one of those trades or days where I should be really say, hey, I just got 5 points off this trade, and be happy for it. But we'll see. I'm long my personal account as well, about the same location, 92.75. I did take runners off of that. Um, +4, 96.75, and I'll just break even on the runners. Either we put the low in or not. The next take profit on that would be right under 5,100, like 99.50 or something like that, or I get the runner stop. So we'll see. E period has started, and we're either gonna get those singles, and so that's what I'd be looking for here. We are coming into D's mid right here, and you find some acceptance over this area, then I would look for those singles to close first, and then a break of the one time framing down, kind of break this trend early. We are in a downtrend on the 30-minute, been one time framing down all day. Volume, again, does not tell me that a trend they should form. So over the course of the day, I'm looking more for balance. And next stop up to the upside would be previous VPOC. We'll see. Like I said, in my personal account, I am just strictly runners now. That was my second take profit. And if I'm lucky, and my idea that we should balance today is fine, I should see these singles close. I should get, there should be some resistance on the market. It's century figure. And so I'm okay with a little bit of a pullback here. I do have a little bit of support here at 96 now. Delta is following this move higher. Want to see now, if I want to take this off before break even, taking out 96 would, with some force, would definitely do it for me. 95, 96, I would like to see hold for those runners. And, runners didn't work. That is really what it comes down to. So runners are there to let the market tell, or at least for me, or for the market to tell me I'm wrong. And my idea is we can continue this at least into a test into the 5,100s, if not higher. And where I would kind of concede maybe I'm wrong 100% is trading with volume underneath 95. So, or coming up here and seeing buyers just get pounded and these singles stay open, and then a quick trip back down 95. I'd be wrong. So we'll see. Singles did close. So again, kind of if you're watching those singles, and this is just kind of a general thing. You'll hear me say, don't counter singles. The caveat to that is singles in the direction of the short time frame trend. So the short time frame trend right now is higher. Did find some longer term time frame sellers still, in that 51.24 area, but the short time frame auction is higher. And as a general rule, I don't look for singles in to the downside in an uptrend to hold as much as I would singles lower in an uptrend. So, for example, these singles, I'm not looking for these to fail. The probability of, let's put it this way, the probability today of these lower singles that just filled are higher for me than us to trade 88.75 and close this guy. Doesn't mean it can't happen, but with the way volume was, these are singles in an uptrend. I'm following the trend. I expect those to hold. And those start giving you ideas that, in this trend, for example, that there's your previous VPOC. For these runners now, I'm looking, we'll see, again, maybe now I'm going to be concentrating on this 98.95, kind of got a couple minutes worth of balance here, the lows here, down here. I really don't want to see necessarily these lows give up 98. Two support levels, which would be 96.25. Pretty much tell me that we're either going to go ahead and consolidate a little bit more, or that this trend is totally over and we're probably going to see lower prices. But for runners, it's always got to be two. So now that I have two, I'll set my runners off to probably, I'm still trying to decide, 95 is such a level. I could set it like at 94.50. That would get us down into second VWAP. It really needs to be, for me, I'm going to set it underneath 95, so like 94.50. But it's very possible that I get wicked out and we come right back, in the direction of that trend. The other way you can set stops on runners is just draw your fibs. Doesn't matter. You just need something that's sort of consistent to what you're looking at. And you're only going to know that through just practice and trading and trading. I can't tell you. Again, you can put this on here. 50% pullback would be 96.75. That would keep this very short time frame auction intact. The 61.8% retracement on this so far is 50.95.50. And again, if in this case on this uptrend, if sellers can break back below 95 and hold 95, then I'm looking for a full retracement of what's been done. And that's how I would look at setting stops. You can set them by volatility. You can do whatever your time frame is. So set an ATR for 5 minutes, set an ATR for 1 minute or whatever. And you can use that volatility stop, so if on the ATR on the 1 minute, I wouldn't do it on a 1 minute because 1 minutes tend to be a little bit choppy. On a 5 minute, you can set your ATR on your 5 minute. We can do that right now. They're kind of letting this trade play out. ATR. I don't use this, by the way, and that's why it's not on my chart. There, let me see what the settings are. Okay, yeah, it's that I'm gonna hide this and then just get the text for it. Text. Average true range. ATR. It's 5.16. So every 5 minute bar right now, based on ATR, is a 5 minute move. So if you're taking runners, your stop here, and again, I don't use it, but you put in that high at 90 or 5102. You can use that ATR, which would set your stop at about 90, say 97. And that could be, and you're just using what the market's been doing lately, which is putting in on the 5 minute an average of 5 points every bar. So you can use that. Again, I'm a little bit more discretionary in my trading. I'm looking, I use the 1 minute or the 4 tick. I can use either, they're about the same. I look for, I'll draw these out for you instead of just putting lines. If we look at what happened, since this trend off the lows, we have two 1 minute balance areas. Extend it here. And then right above it. And you see how the 1 minutes were holding this as support. And so breaking down below two of those, which would ironically on this move would put us about 50% retracement. If those don't hold, then I'm thinking, at the very most we'll be in chop, and I don't want to even have runners at chop. I'm gonna wait for a break. We're either gonna stay in this balance, and that's the end of the move, or we're gonna break, this balance. And right now, our bigger balance, depending on once this moves over, we still have lower or higher lows forming. That's your balance, right? That's based on the 1 minute chart, and it would be the 5 minute chart too, but this is your balance right now. So we can put 50% up there, which would be 50% of your trip fib. And we'll do that and draw midline there. So 97 on this move. So you want to, if we're breaking down, kind of like we're doing now, if you are breaking down below this will get you through, kind of that support area I was talking about. I may get stopped out of these runners. It's 94.75, and that's fine. It's the trend stop, and it is what it is. And I would still look. You may get a little bit of an extension down underneath this 91, back below that. And yeah, I'm probably going to get stopped out of these runners, and that's fine. Runners aren't going to work every time. And we're going to continue this very, very meandering downtrend. If you take out, if E period takes out D's low, that is effectively a trend day. You are 3 wide, 33 points of range, not bad. And we've one time frame down all morning, and not something I'm expecting, and is certainly is not setting up. There you go. Let's see if we get singles closed. I'd be doing this again, man. All we're doing is kind of extending this range down. These are solid. The solid bars, that seller is there. Volume picked up a little bit. Delta, again, screamed downside. And if tempo and volume was a little bit higher, I wouldn't have tried to pick this low. I would have waited for that, but it just didn't look good for continuation down, but here we are. Well, at least close the singles, guys, if you're down here. Wow. I still think you're going to get it. Who'd they screw, man? To bring in tempo down here, so much nicer trading here. Yeah, if we can get back in this range, they close these singles. So you can find some acceptance back down below 80, low 80s would be next kind of target down. To get stopped out of those runners, obviously, and that's fine. Like I said, all of a sudden we decided I'm going to throw a temper tantrum. So volume did come, volume's building down here. And gets a little bit more violent here. Oh, stop on it. Yeah, below 91. And a little extended there, though. So you did bring in volume. Congratulations, finally. And try this once again. I still don't believe. Turn this down. I'm still looking for dips to buy. Now, the more patient trade here is, I would probably take it, again, to the upside, not the downside, is number one, wait for E period, totally finish. And then we know that FGHI is going to typically stop one time framing down on the day. Volume keeps coming in though. We're almost 90 percentile now. Is to wait for that. And if you're looking for that counter trade rally, it's typically going to come in FGHI. And so what you're looking for, again, would be Let's use the 5 minute here. Price retrace. That was 710. So this is our range in RTH. Just make sure I got the low snapped. Snap high to low. 38% retracement on the 5 minute. 5 minute BGL is coming down in a 5100 as well. So you would be looking for that counter trend rally in FGHI if this is the low that we have now. Good location for it as well, but I don't think you'd get your one time framing stop, you know, so somewhere between 38% and 50%. You know, if this downtrend's going to continue, you're not going to want to see it over that area. And so the patience there is you have two trades. You stopped out of this one too. Hey there, I mean, this is it. You got that damn longer term seller there. They're starting to push this auction back down. The trend continuation, you would look for FGHI to stop one time framing down, come into that 5100 to 5105 area, and melt back down. And that will keep that trend going. And maybe we form a B shape today. Better liquidation, you're putting in new lows. So that would be one idea. The other idea, of course, is to be a pioneer. Take the counter trend, assuming that we're going to stop one time framing down during lunch and try to catch a bottom for that first move. And the idea, again, there is that it would be just kind of scalping. Short time frame trend has definitely changed back over hourly, still fine. For now, we can catch a lower high, like I was saying this morning, all the way down into this 80 area. You know, kind of 76.80, put in a higher low on the hourly, and then continuation through there. So we'll see. To finally bring in, so we've got plenty of overhead now. So we'll see. Yeah, 7 minutes till D period gives that. If we can't close E period above 90, scratch this. Don't want to get too out of whack before we get our afternoon trade in. We do have a five-year auction at noontime as well. One minute coming down into 92. Yeah, BCR, hopefully I answered your question. I didn't see that in chat. Is the 1 minute is about the same as a Fortec, and that's the Renko is without time. Sometimes gives you a little bit better read, you know, kind of on the action. I can use either the 1 minute or the Fortec. They're fine. I'm just trying to stay consistent with the charts. I've always used the 5 minute, always used the hour, always used the 240. And so I'm just trying to stay consistent, you know, with the charts. Still getting used to the 1 minute. for triggers. Um, but we'll see. We'll see if you come in some week and my Vortex back up. So the singles closing, we did close the singles, and here for the last 4 minutes, we found buyers, at those singles. I think you got to get back over 92, get back in this little initial range that we just broke down out of. It's 90s, so it's 10 points. So a successful break of this would be 50.80. And again, that comes into a nice area for the 1 minute. Excuse me. Catching bobs. Yeah, it's way too tough. I gotta wake up. So I guess it's gonna come down to earnings. It looks like they're giving them up though. When we get to offsides here, I hate these slower trends. Volume is dying. Tempo's not there. But they are holding that previous balance. He just kind of waked into it, and hey, gonna get stopped out of this one too. That's what happens when you try to call bottoms on days. I would look for, again, kind of 78.80. I'm gonna crack up if we go outside today. I will just crack up. Double low. It's funny when I'm playing, like in this, when I'm playing downside, I never get my break of a double low O's forms, but I get screwed. When I'm playing it long, we can't put in a double on the 5 minute. So starting to form another consolidation underneath, so again, on the 1 minute, this is kind of, you can call it a flag. It's just, was telling somebody the other day, you know, these names, the inverse head and shoulder, the head and shoulder, pennants, um, all of those are just plays on the idea of lower highs, lower lows, higher highs. All of them. They're always going to, it puts a name to that pattern of higher highs and higher lows and lower lows and lower highs. So I just kind of simplify things and just talk about higher lows, lower highs. This is kind of what you would call, you know, off the 1 minute, very short time frame. Bear flag, right? Here's your flag. Here was your move down. Here was your liquidation. Here's your flag. So you're not finding just a ton of aggressive buyers here. It's kind of the pattern kind of broke, which gave me some hope for that. And I, you know, if I would have been smart, I would have just taken my 8 points and said, that's it, on that counter trend. But we kind of broke that channel. You know, we were kind of coasting through second standard deviation as resistance, and then third standard deviation as support, and we broke that trend and came up almost into one standard deviation. And so even on this, I was looking for that second standard deviation to hold and maybe start a channel between second and first standard deviation. And Marcus said, no way, Jose. We like underneath the second standard deviation VWAP today. So you get these singles closed. Half back on D period is 94. Or I'm sorry, E period. So again, one time framing down all morning. I'm looking for D, or excuse me. That's a wheezy cough. Allergies are kicking in again. Pollen is up. Looking for F period, G period, H period, I period. So the next 2 hours. One of those to break the previous period's high. If we're going to get a B shape, I want to see all trade this afternoon underneath 5105, 50% retracement, depending on where we're getting the lows in. And so 50%, as long as we're in 50%, then I'm looking for a B shape to form at some point. It is trendy. We are only 3 wide across POC. If we do get that one time framing down to stop, then I would look for a rally to short up around that 5100. So start looking for it around 98, all the way up into 5105. Catch a lower high and get short against it. We definitely got some information today on that lower high. You know, if you're looking at it on a 4 hour, it's going to be a beautiful lower high. And if that is your lower high, then we're not done. And you're looking for a new low. So we'll see. Meta tonight, they've been killing earnings lately. So I wouldn't get too comfortable with either side right now. Until you see, you know, on the downside, until you see the 1 hour break lower, because your 1 hour is trending higher. Look at that. It's got a wicked ass looking thing. 65 is your 38% retracement on this move so far. So as long as we're trading over that, you're fine. And where I was coming in with, you know, kind of that higher low is off of these, somewhere in this area. So these highs, 76, down to the 38% retracement lows. Here's your weekly VWAP, about 73. If we are going to continue down, perfect spot for a short time frame, 1 hour high or low to put in, and then we're targeting that upward 51.28. But as we just found out today, we're looking at and this is all overnight trade, right? This last bar is our RTH high, 24.25, and so we're staying. This was Monday's break, this was Tuesday's high, and we're still there. We're holding this lower distribution, and so they're not out of the woods. Buyers definitely not out of the woods. We're just getting a counter trend so far on that bigger dump, and let me get out of this as I'm talking. A bad trade, not a bad trade, but I also don't want to get hit. There we go. I just want to get out of this. I'm talking. So it's kind of like I was saying in between. It's a war between this short time frame auction on the hourly and the 4 hour. So right now, I would have to say that that longer term auction is still winning. And let me get that stop off. So, just kind of be cautious on the upside. If you're a swing trader or something, it's, just like I was saying this weekend, it's probably not a good time to get short off the lows from last week. And this isn't a good area to establish new longs. We're just kind of battling in between them, and see which one eventually wins. And maybe it starts showing its face tomorrow. So anyway, right before H period, if we haven't broken down one time framing higher, or even if we have, we'll see what it looks like at noon and kind of set up the afternoon trade. But anyway,